Hey good people, welcome back to Beauty in the Frizz. My name is Cara. Whether you're new or returning, thank you so much for stopping by and hanging out with me for another one today. These videos are some of my favorites to do every month, and it is, of course, you clicked on it, the BYOP palette collab, well, BYOP collab that I have with my friend Kelly over at Keep Beauty Real. So if you want to go ahead and take a look at this month's palette, keep on watching this video. Let me know what you think. And if makeup is your therapy, if it's your love, if it is your escape, and you want to connect with another makeup enthusiast that feels the same way, definitely consider joining the community. I'd love to have you back. All right, let's get started. So I'm recording this on Tuesday, and not too long ago, I hate starting things with a bad note, but when I said if it's your escape, if makeup is your escape, not too long ago, we got news of that school shooting in Texas, and I don't really have the words, and as a teacher, as a mom, I don't even know what to say. And we're having a drill, ironically, the day that you're seeing this video, some type of lockdown drill. It's just so crazy how school has changed, or just how the world has changed. And schools were always a safe place. And it's really kind of heavy on my mind right now that that is not the case anymore. So yeah. Right now, I usually don't record in the evenings, but you know, it can kind of be an escape sometimes. But I don't know what the solution is to any of this. But I just wanted to share with you, you know, what's on my mind. You know, I don't really talk too much about, you know, outside stuff like that. But yeah, it's real heavy on my mind, like the world that we live in and the world that kids are growing up in. And I just don't like to kind of ignore things that I'm thinking about like that. We're gonna do the video and have a little bit of therapy, even if it is for a short time. So for those of you who are new here, this is my monthly collab that my friend Kelly over at Keep Beauty Real and I do. We brought in Kendra Morgan Official, who loves single eyeshadows. I don't think she's doing a video this month. And we also have some other collaborators that post palettes on Instagram. And basically what we do is each month we come up with a theme. We pick 10 shadows and we create our own palette. And we're doing this just to use these beautiful collections that we have, these beautiful single eyeshadows that we neglect, and just to have fun and be creative, you know? If you are a content creator here on YouTube, or you are on Instagram or not, please join us in this collab, even if you're just joining us silently. It is open. I actually really love to see BYOPs on Instagram. There are some great palettes that people are making that I wish were real palettes, you know? So yeah, if you do build a palette, please tag Kelly and I so we can post them, so we can see them. I think it's really, really fun and just a creative outlet. So again, this month is all about the multichromes. And the one thing that we did not clarify, and I realized that when Kelly asked me a question, she asked me how many mattes was I putting in the palette. And I was like, I don't think I'm putting any mattes in the palette. So then I was like, what am I gonna do? This was really loose. So I hope I'm not cheating. I guess I'm not, because there weren't really any rules. But I'm gonna tell you how I came up with my palette. I wanted to come up with some multichromes that would be a complement to a palette that I really love, and I'm so glad I bought this year. And this is the Patrick Ta Major Dimension 2 Rose Eyeshadow Palette. So for those who haven't seen it, I'm sure many of you have, here's what it looks like. It's got the 2 cream shades here, and then a beautiful selection of mattes and shimmers. Now, there is a shimmer in here that reminded me kind of something indie, but they are just a different texture. They are not like full on indie shimmers. So I was like, you know, I'm gonna pick 10 multi-chromes that are gonna complement this palette. I've really been in more of a neutral nude mood despite the eyeshadow looks you've seen me do. If I wasn't doing them for YouTube, or if I wasn't recording every morning, because that's what I do. I record pretty much every single morning so I can get multiple looks with one palette. Most likely I would be pulling out that Patrick Ta palette a lot more than I do. So with that being said, we are going to get to this palette, and with the shades that I chose, I also tried to pick things. Actually, that's not true. I was gonna say I try to pick things that I don't use, but I kind of did a combo. I picked some that I don't use, and then I picked a couple that are like some of my favorites. So let's get into this palette. Just making sure everything is in focus, but these are the 10 shades here, and I am really, really excited to swatch these for you. I'm really excited to show you a look to do with this palette that will really be beautiful with the Patrick Ta Rose palette. So let's get into the shade names and the swatches and the brands. Now, when we're talking about a multi-chrome palette, one of the shades I knew I wanted to have without a doubt was the shade Red Giant by Terra Moons. All right, here is what the shade looks like. So for the swatch portion, I'm gonna have the lights turned down just a little bit, so I'm gonna look a little deeper, but I really want you to see these shades the way that I see them. So looking at Red Giant, hopefully you can see it's like a very icy but fiery shade. I see some green in there. You obviously see that fiery red that's there. It's really, really beautiful. And here's the swatch of Red Giant. There are no glitter particles. It's just very, very fine. The second shade I chose for this palette was the shade Axis, and this is also by Terra Moons. And I'm hoping that you can see this color shift here. Look how beautiful that is. Yes, you look amazing. I love the pajamas that you picked out. Would you like to show everyone? Okay, hold on. Let's get the exposure right. Hold on. These look phenomenal. I'm impressed and I'm pleased. Oh, wait. They can see the pants and then and I was about to say they are matched. They are matched. Go ahead and close the door, and I will be there for the dessert train.
Can we get dessert?
Can you ask Mr. Tyrone?
No, can we get dessert now?
You can, but Marky didn't take a shower yet. Okay, so what I was saying about Axis is even like right here, you can see that beautiful color flip, and when I'm looking at it, I see sparkles of like green, lilac, gold, silver, like blue. There's so many little particles in here. And it is just a great shade, one of my newer shades. And here's what that shade looks like on the finger. And take a look at that beautiful swatch. And that beautiful, just kind of foiled shift, sparkly shift. It's a really, really great shade. And I think, well, all of the shades are gonna complement the Patrick Ta palette, but I really think I'm gonna like this one with the pinks and mauves in that palette. Now, shade number 3 is a shade by the Glam Shop. And the Glam Shop, for those who don't know, is a Polish indie brand. And this is one of their Turbo Glow shades. Honestly, I'm trying to think, is this a multi-chrome? It's gonna be a multi-chrome today. I wanted this in the palette. And when I look at it, it's kind of like a taupey shade, but the sparkles in this are all different colors. And here's that shade. Not sure if you can see those sparkles, but they are there.
Mama.
Yes, hi.
I have to open this.
You need help?
Can I sit?
No. Sit where? Okay, here. Okay, I'll be out there in a second.
Okay.
So here's Tombac, and
What's Tombac?
it's a eyeshadow color. And I just don't, let me see if I can zoom it in. It's just a beautiful, like, glittery sheen. And I just see like a lot of gold with this taupe. And I like it. It's almost like a warm with a cool shade. But I feel like in the camera it looks a bit silver.
Miss Elizabeth saw you on YouTube.
Did Miss Elizabeth see me on YouTube? Well, I don't know. Did you tell her I was on YouTube?
Can
You don't need to tell everybody that I'm on YouTube. It's okay. I appreciate.
Yeah, I know.
I appreciate.
Elizabeth
Okay.
doesn't.
I appreciate the support.
Is that cool?
You look very, very awesome and very cool. You always look cool. You're a cool guy.
Okay, bye.
I love you. All right, the next shade is by Devinah Cosmetics, and this is one of my Aurora Flares. This is the shade Australis, and oh my gosh, Aurora Flares, I don't know, they were the first types of shadows that I felt of its kind, like the smoothness and the silkiness. So let me show you this one up close. So here's Australis up close. And I'm not sure if there it is. There's the shift right there. Look at that. And there's the swatch right there. So let's see if we can see that green shift. It's kind of like a green, it's kind of like a antique kind of green shift. Now I would not be able to do this video without one of my favorite shades, probably one of Kelly's favorite shades, and this is going to be a perfect complement to this palette. It is the shade Tucana by Devinah. It is one of my favorites with the pink to gold flip, and I absolutely love the shade. And there it goes. See that gold right there. And I understand I might be picking out more duochromes than multichromes, but they're chromes nonetheless. Hi, Marky. Are you ready to get your shower?
Upstairs.
Okay, can you give me 5 minutes then? I can't even hear. Can you close my door? Can you close my door? I'll be up in 5 minutes. Well, whatever he was listening to, I didn't even have to put on the transformer noise. All right, so here is Tucana. And again, it's like that pink to gold flip. Such a gorgeous shade. Look at this, y'all. These are so pretty. So next I have another shade by Glam Shop. And this is a marble shade and it's called Fashion for Success. Wait till y'all see this one up close. When I look at it, I mean, this is one of the chunkier shades or formulas that they have. But there's just a beautiful red, pinks, and gold chunks in this marbleized shade. And these are messy, but they are worth the mess. They are beautiful. All right, here's what it looks like up close. And here's what it looks like on my finger. And there's Fashion for Success. So you see, it kind of goes into this beautiful foiled red, orange, yellow shade. And just depending on what you pick up determines what that shade is going to look like when you put it on your eye, which is really cool. And I can imagine that if you decide to kind of do more of a tapping motion, maybe you'll see more of the individual particles, but swatching it out, it just goes on so smooth and so beautiful in one beautiful shade. All right, moving right along, I'm including a shade that was misplaced because I recently did a video swatching all of my Looxi Beauty shadows, and this was misplaced with another brand. This is the shade Rocky Road, and you can see it right there, just changing color. So that's what Rocky Road looks like. Here it is on the finger. And there's Rocky Road, and I think this is a really cool shade because it's like a kind of like a yellowy gold shade maybe, but it kind of looks like a green, kind of looks chartreuse right here, but then you see kind of a red undertone with this, or orange undertone. I think it's a really, really nice, unique shade, and it's a fun one to use. I think Terra Moons might have one like this called Martian. But yeah, this is a really gorgeous shade. All right, I have another shade by Devinah. This is the shade Asteria. So look at that one, really pretty. So you can see that this shade transforms from a green. You've got this pink or deep, pink shade right here. There it is on the finger. And there's the swatch. So from where I'm looking, all I see is the deep pink, but then I kind of see that blue-green kind of flip right there. It's beautiful. That's what we've got so far. So this next shade is by Glam Shop. This is one of the Holo shades. It's called Holo na Cieplo. Pronunciation may be a little bit off, but again, this is one of the Holo shades. And this is almost like a rose gold in a way. They have one called rose gold that I have. It's a little bit different. Now in the Holo shades, there are a bunch of rainbow reflex. So I'm not sure if you're able to see them, but there are a lot of different colors in this shade. But overall, it's more of a rose gold or mauve tone. And I think, again, it's going to pair well with our companion palette for this video. And for the very last and final shade, I am using a shade by JD Glow, and this is the shade Unexpected. And when I look at this, it's hard to even tell what color this is. There's gold, there's pink, there's green, there's like a lot of blue sparkles in this one. And that's what it looks like. So hopefully you can see all the different little changes that the color's going through. It's a really nice one. And there it is on the finger. And there's Unexpected. So very beautiful. And here is the entire palette for this month. I don't know, seeing it all swatched out, I really like it because I didn't swatch it all out when I picked the shades, but this is like, you can do something with these, you know what I mean? So I'm excited to get into a look. And you can see with the light off, there is a great amount of sparkle and shine to all of these shades. And I am so glad to have them in my collection. They're really special. Look at those shades, look at the shifts. Okay, I'm gonna calm down. All right, you guys, so now what I'm gonna do is get into a look with this palette, with these shades. And you know, I'm kind of feeling one look on each eye. I just don't think I'm gonna be able to use the amount of chromes that I wanna use if I only do one look. So let's go ahead and get into those two looks now. All right, you guys, let's go ahead and get into the looks with this BYOP. I do have my Mayron mixing medium here. And just so you know, the Mayron mixing medium did not come in this. I purchased this spray bottle from Amazon. Actually, I have had this. I used this when I was making perfumes out of my essential oils. That's what I had these in, and the dark bottle preserves the oils a lot longer. So I just already had this, but these are on Amazon. Let's go right into this matte here for our transition shade. I'm gonna take a BK Beauty A502 brush and just going in with this beautiful matte shade as our transition. I'm bringing it up pretty high. I'm like glancing over at these multi-chromes and trying to figure out what I want to do next. Just gonna leave it just like that. What a beautiful shade. What a beautiful palette. Okay, calm down. All right, let's go into the Holo shade from the Glam Shop. I don't think I've used this one before, so I am very excited about what this is going to look like. Now this is a Sigma lid shader brush, and I'm just gonna go ahead and grab some of that and spray it. Now I do have a few chunks on my face, but they're big particles and they will be able to go away. Look how beautiful this Holo shade is. So with the light off, you can see all the sparkles in this Holo shade. It's a really nice shade. And from right where I'm looking, I can see all of the colors: green, silver, purple, some blue, some gold. All right, the next shade I want to go into is the shade Tombac, and that's kind of this antique or taupey silvery shade, and I have it on the same brush. I'm gonna give it a spray. I also kind of wanted to do a complimentary indie palette to the Patrick Ta palette, because I want people to see, like, you can do neutral indie looks. You can use your indie makeup to complement like your mainstream palettes, and it doesn't have to be super intimidating. You can just start with the types of shades that you like and then expand from there, because I know like trying to pick out singles can be really tough. It's overwhelming for me, and I have a lot of singles. So I really love how these two shades look together. I think they look perfect. Now I might mess it up. I want to see what would happen if we take Australis, one of our Devinah Aurora Flares. I have a crease brush by the brand eyeshadow, and I want to see what would happen if we try to use this as a matte smoke shade. It's a shimmer, but you know what I mean, in place of the smoke shade. Let's just see if that's something we can achieve. I think we can achieve it. I think we can achieve it. Oh yes, y'all, come on. And you don't even have to pack it on. Like, this is a fluffier brush. So just the way that this is going on, you don't have to be afraid of these type of shades, or these types, because we don't even have to pack it. You know what I mean? You have a shade like this in Divine Rose 2, VR Extraterrestrial. You have a shade like this in Utopian Dream. What is it? VR Sex Stream or Blitz Sex Stream? I think it's VR. I don't know. But I'm just saying, you have these shades. Look at that. I think this looks really good. So I'm just gonna take another brush by eyeshadow. Now this is good for putting color all over the lid, but I do like to use this brush for the lower lash line. And I think that I'm gonna go into our transition shade again, just to bring it together. Then we need an inner corner. Wait, let's see. I'm gonna go back into my Sigma lid shader, and why don't we just go into Tucana for that inner corner highlight. It's gonna give us a little bit of a lot of gold and pink here. Let's just bring it down a little bit onto that lower lash line like that. And you guys, this is the first look, and it was so easy, and it's not over the top, but it kind of is. I really like this. This is coming out way better than I expected. So let's get into the second look, and then I'll, finish both of these off. Now I'm gonna go back into my BK Beauty A502 brush. We're gonna make this look a bit deeper. I'm gonna go ahead and place this in our transition area. I'm gonna bring it up a little bit. Gonna take a little bit of this matte here, just kind of go above it a little bit, just to diffuse out that color a little more. All right, that gives us a pretty good base for this eye look. We're gonna go into Rocky Road first. This is the Looxi shade. I'm just gonna continue to use my lid shader brush because some of these particles are so big, it's really not leaving any residue on the brush. I'm gonna spray it, and we're gonna go ahead and take that on the first portion of the lid. I really, really like this shade a lot. And the thing is that the undertone that Rocky Road has is the same color that is this matte shade. So I like that. Did not do that on purpose, but I think that's really nice, like a nice little pickup, without being too matchy, because y'all know I do not like super matchy. Okay, so that's that. Now the next shade I'm gonna get into is the messy shade. This is Fashion for Success. This is the marble shade by Glam Shop. I'm wondering if I should use my finger, but that would be too much like right. So we're gonna take the same brush and spray it. These shades are totally worth it. And we're gonna go ahead and put this a little bit over Rocky Road. And I might end up using my finger because when I swatched it, you could make it smooth. But the other thing I was saying was if you kind of tap it on, you kind of don't know what you're gonna get with this one when you tap it, because you're kind of keeping those particles intact, like the colors are more separated. When you use your finger, if you're, swiping, a lot of these are gonna blend together, but it blends together into a really beautiful shade. So Hopefully that's coming out good where you can see it's not really even, but that's kind of like the uniqueness of the marble shades that I like. Let's see, I'm gonna take a finger for a second and see. So here you see there's just a lot of texture there. Gonna go back into the Patrick Ta palette with the deepest matte, which is this one here. Just gonna take that and kind of stamp it in. Yes, okay, I'm so happy with this and how this is looking. And this is why we do this series, to try to put together things that you wouldn't expect to put together, and to just, you know, challenge yourself, challenge your creativity. I'm really liking this a lot, and I'm kind of sad that I'm not going to work because this is gorgeous. I'm gonna have to take it right off because it's almost 8:30 and I have to put the boys to bed. That's neither here nor there. So we're gonna go into our transition matte. I think that's what I wanna do for the lower lash line. So taking the dense eggshell brush and just sweeping underneath. I'm not gonna bring it down too far because the lid is, you know, heavy as far as like the look. All right, last but not least, we need our inner corner point. And we are, okay, let's use Axis for the inner corner highlight. And did I use Tucana? I did. I had to make sure I at least use my favorite shades in this look. Like, come on, come on. All right, this is Axis by Terra Moons. You got that peach base or peachy color, and then you've got the green reflex, which looks amazing. And we're gonna take Red Giant and put it on the brow bone. I don't care if it messes up the look because Red Giant is getting worn. I don't care. So we're gonna put a little bit of that up top. Ooh, okay. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Just a little bit right there for that fire. Can I put some right here? I might be getting carried away, but oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, because I can't. Like, we will not neglect this shade. I know I couldn't use them all, but Red Giant was getting worn. I don't care how it had to go. Okay, we're doing a lot, but Red Giant, we got to do that. I'm sorry. Okay, here's look number 1. Let me know what you think. Can y'all see it? And then look number 2. And here are both looks, side by side. All right, let me put my liner and my mascara on. I'll be back to tell you what I think about the looks and wrap up the video. All right, you guys, here are both finished looks. So first I'll tell you what I used to finish up the eye look. I just line my bottom lashes with the shade Love Drug by Urban Decay. This is one of my favorite kind of plummy burgundy liners. I really love this one. I thought it would go great with both looks. I have on the 5D Lash Pal Mascara by Makeup Revolution. Now for foundation today, I'm just wearing the NARS Advanced Light Reflecting Foundation. I have on my Gucci bronzer. I have on the LYS Concealer, Pat McGrath Blur Powder. Okay, now blush. I use 2 Charlotte Tilbury products. I have this Swirl and Pop, Swish and Pop blusher. This is the shade Ecstasy. And then, I don't know, I just wanted something more dewy. So on top of it, I put on the Beauty Light Wand in the shade Pink Gasm to give me kind of a dewy shade. But you know, I also put Red Giant on top of that. So I might have negated it all. Now I am wearing a new setting spray that just came. This is the Glow Dewy Mist by e.l.f. I think I like it, but I just tried it on for the first time. It has coconut and argan oil in it, so I don't think this is gonna be good for someone that's oily. I don't think that would be a good idea. And you kind of have to shake it, but you can't see it, but I think it's definitely dewy and has the finish that I like. So I'll keep y'all posted on that. I just randomly ordered that from Amazon. Lipstick is by none other than Mama Pat. This is from Bridgerton collection. This is the shade Venetian Peach. I really like this, and I usually don't wear this with a liner. This is a nice formula of lipstick, I will say, even though the packaging is very cheap. Let's go ahead and wrap up this video. So I really like these two looks. Again, I wasn't sure where I was going when I picked out these multi-chromes or dual chromes, whatever you want to call them, but I really wanted to use the Patrick Ta palette. I just needed an excuse, and I'm just like, yes, let's complement this because, you know, sometimes we just don't know what to do with our singles. We just don't know. But if you just pick out a few and put it in your makeup basket for the week, or however you plan things out or not, just set them to the side and then just use them to enhance the palettes that you already have. Because both of these looks, I feel like, are really wearable. And we use some real indie shades, like real indie shifty shades. And you can see that you can make these shades totally wearable. So you don't always have to have like this real shifty or I don't want to say crazy look, like super colorful. We can do a little rose gold, little neutral kind of look and still use the indie shadows that are sparkly and reflective and shifty and marbly. I love this. I'm really excited about this. So anyway, that is it for this month's palette. So let me tell you about next month. So next month for June, you know, we'll be more so planning our palette for July. So we are going to do a red, white, and blue palette. And I didn't really say anything when Kendra and Kelly and I talked about it. But, you know, it's red, white, and blue. But it doesn't mean it has to be American flag red, white, and blue. You know what I mean? So I'm already thinking about like, how am I going to make this palette creative? Because y'all know I like red eyeshadow. Blue eyeshadow is gotta be a certain blue. So I'm already trying to think about what do I have that I would pop in that palette. And when I'm thinking about the whites, we can do so many things for the whites. So I'm excited because this is going to be a challenge. Now, if you have made it to the end, I just want to say thank you so much for taking out some of your time and hanging out with me today. I do hope that if you get a chance, you go over and see Kelly's video. Again, I don't think Kendra's doing a video this month, but if anybody else does a video, I'm gonna have their video linked in the description box. I'll definitely be putting palettes in my stories if anybody chooses to collab. I'm really excited to see what you guys come up with and what you think about the look. So I hope this was therapy for you. Today, it definitely was for me. We really have to cherish every day that we have. So many unexpected things happening all the time, so many unbelievable things. And no matter how bad your day was, like, we're here, you know. And I do still, despite all of it, I try. I'm not saying I'm successful at it, but I do try to wake up with a grateful heart and try to spin anything that's negative not into an unrealistic positive, you know. I'm not going around ignoring my feelings, but you know, just trying to take things one day at a time and one step at a time. And, you know, sometimes it's hard to see the end of the day when you started. So sometimes I even have to break my day down. Like, I'm just going to make it through the morning shift of getting the boys out the door and like celebrate that success. Like, we got everybody on time, or he got on the bus. I got everybody there without a hitch. And then it's getting to work. It's like, as long as I can get there before the bell rings and the kids come in, I'm like, that's another success. And then getting my kids, you know, together, my student kids, to lunch, you know, and just chunk it like that, because sometimes things can be so overwhelming. So don't forget to toot your own horn. Don't forget to celebrate your small successes and the big ones too. But don't forget about the small ones, because they definitely matter too. So with that being said, be gentle with yourself. Talk to yourself nice. Almost forgot what I usually say. Stay safe, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.